students are not automatically, those students are not automatically placed in general education or placed in special education classrooms. So what we know is that it's the general education teachers that are referring these students. So that's a whole nother conversation, because we need to figure out what's happening. Okay, is it a problem? Is it the biases that some of these teachers may have towards these kids, and it makes it easier to remove them and put them in special education? Because we do want our students, our kids, to be exposed to the general education curriculum as well. So if these students are able to receive their services in general education classrooms, we need to make sure that they are receiving, and that it's just not a placement. And that's what we have happening. Along these lines, something that I'm working on now, and it probably will be the way I end my career, is making sure that our students are able to see teachers that look like them. What is it that we can do? Why is it that Black kids or African-American kids are not interested in going into education? To me, I think it's the civil rights issue of our time. We need to make sure, and you know, there's a saying that you can't be what you don't see. It's just so important. And so what I'm going to do today is, I have a few slides, but I'm going to talk about a study that I conducted with African-American parents. And yeah, someone said special education is being weaponized instead of being used as a tool. And you are so right. And I think that until our parents are involved, until our teachers are involved, until we have teachers that represents the students that they're educating, because there are 13 areas under IDEA that students can qualify for special education. We know that African-American students are overrepresented in all 13 areas. That should be something that all of us should be up in arms about, okay? The disproportionalities that we're seeing within districts. I mean, there are districts where maybe 10% of the students are receiving, 10% of the students on the campuses are African-American or Black students, and they represent over 50% of the students that are placed in special education classes. So it's just really something to think about. So I can go on and on, but I do want to share a study that I conducted, and I'll go into that. And then hopefully we'll be able to have some discussion afterwards. It seems like there are a lot of professionals on here, and yeah, I'm open, so I'm looking forward to it. So thank you for being here, and I'm looking forward to this presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Hopefully you can see that. So as I was saying, my name is Regina Brandon, and I'm in the Department of Special Education here at San Diego State. And this was a study that I conducted. It's called The Exploration of the Alienation Experienced by African-American Parents from Their Child's Educational Environment. So just a quick overview. We know that parent participation in school-based activities can definitely determine the success of the student. We know this is research-based, that when parents are a part of their kids' educational environment, that the students tend to do better in school, whether it's general education or special education, okay? Something else that's really interesting here is that, and I'll just talk about things as we're going that may not be in the PowerPoints, but I've had parents that, you know, to tell me that when the phone rings, I don't answer because I know that it's the school calling. If I know it's the school, I don't answer because the teachers are not calling to say anything positive about a student. Now, if you are a teacher and you can't find something positive about a student that you're working with, if you can't see something good in that person, if you can't identify something positive that that student has done, that's an issue within itself. You know, why are you teaching? Okay. Okay. We know that this is a push that research is
that I want to share with you. Oh, so there we go. So that is when California Assessment Standardized Test, the California Assessment for Student Performance and Progress. We looked at how students have performed. This is a test that is given in grade 3, 4.
Their family. And those are some things that really provide another issue, right? You're stopping your life for someone else. And so overall, what a lot of the next step as to what we can do for the young generation and this young population is to provide for them a safe place. A lot, because the culture already is very close-knit and does better together, it is more important for them to continue that same.
Granted, this structure is from 2018 and 2015, so it's a little dated, but for the most part, this is still very accurate. Obviously, we're getting more representation over here, definitely in this category. And now we're having sort of books about Black girls and just Black kids in general from all over the diaspora as well. And for Afro-Latinx representation. But I do want to highlight these sections to you guys just because